It's time for JoyNews Interactive, and Aisha is here, and we're going to roll like that. Hello, Aisha.
It's been a very lively day.
Oh, yeah.
The Starlets won. They won their match, and just now,
Manchester
United is beating Ajax.
Well, they have won the game. They actually won by two
Definitely. So it's an interesting day. You know, earlier, Baba Sando predicted that they were going to actually score Manchester United. I'm sure she's sweeping by now.
She was just being against.
Okay, so you know how to join the conversation. It's on JoyNews on TV, facebook.com/JoyNews on TV, and on Twitter, it's on JoyNews on TV. Let's keep the fire burning. The match between Manchester United and Ajax has ended with Manchester United winning the match by 2-0. This means Manchester United qualifies for UEFA Champions League next year. And so, let's check. Okay, so we'll be trying to get those messages on Twitter. But following the brouhaha over the alleged MP visa fraud some time ago, Foreign Affairs Minister Shirley Ayeko-Botchwey has directed that all former appointees and MPs must submit their diplomatic passports. Failure to do so, she warns of embarrassment in their attempt to use those diplomatic passports. A question I ask, what do you make of this directive?
It's no more in office, so what's the need of the diplomatic passport? So for me, the minister can go ahead and collect the passport from all of them. Yes.
And she's saying that if any minister refuses, she will embarrass them. So what kind of embarrassing thing do you think she can do to get the passport back?
I think that's where the law will come into play. So that one will leave it to the minister and their lawyers to decide what best. If you refuse to give your passport, why are you not giving it out? I think they have a lawyer and the court to take that one on. We can't sit here and decide that one for them.
I said it's going to help the whole country as well. As in, everybody has to go through the same process. There's nothing like protocol is going to be given to, state officials and all that. No. We're all going to pass through the same process and then, achieve the visa.
So what form of embarrassment do you think the Foreign Affairs Minister can issue to these ministers who fail to bring out their passport?
I think they will adhere to this initiative. I don't think they will say, no, we are not going to hand over our passports or our visa or whatever.
It's okay. They should hand over their passports because it's not necessary. So far as they are not minister again, they can handle it easy. Because it will continue, everybody will come. So far as he's a minister, the person will depend on the passport because he's a minister. He wanted to use the diplomatic passport. But so far as you are not minister again, you should just give it off. That's all.
Interesting comments from the streets. A lot of the comments are on Facebook. Let's check it out, Israel.
Nasir says, I support the minister 100%. You are no more in power. So why still holding diplomatic passports? Return them or let the minister get you arrested. I'm just a citizen, not spectator. Barima Kubaji says, that's a good thing to do, but I don't see how that solves the problem of Ghanaians being harassed and threatened in Saudi Arabia with deportation. I don't see how that solves the many problems like inability to pay salaries of people they mistakenly thought were ghosts, issuance of Dutch checks, the city breaking the dollar, jail again and all. They should concentrate on the weightier matters. Talinga says, why should she add the statement of whoever refuses to do so willingly will be embarrassed? It's too harsh and makes it sound as if she is in bad terms with them. There's no need for this threat. By Jeremiah says, it's a good move and I support that. If you are no more party or diplomatic team, why should you still have the diplomatic passport in your possession? Illegality is now too much in the system. It must not be accepted in any form. The way the minister put it, sounded too political.
And Amin Abdulaziz says, whoever doesn't want to be embarrassed should return the said passport without delay. It's as simple as that. We have had enough of some shameless and marauding politicians in Africa. Saba Bernard says all should be in BNI back door before eating tomorrow morning from their pots. If not, they will pass through a Libo to Cote d'Ivoire. But Nicola says, Madam Minister, Ghanaians need national ID and control the foreigners. Simple. Ismail Halil says, I thought this issue had been addressed. And Zainab Hassan says, 100%, I second that. And Juventus says, take them fast, cry. And those are some comments from Facebook. Also, recent reports from the BBC has shown how young graduates are turning to elocution classes to improve their job prospects. This follows an HR specialist's advice that people need to adapt their accents to get ahead in life. The question I ask, does one's accent determine one's level of success in life?
No.
Why?
Because the way you speak doesn't determine your success. Success is what you do in the daily basis. So before you can become rich in life, you need to do something in life. You need to engage yourself in work and then be serious about your work. That will guarantee you to be a successful person.
Actually, it determines the level of success because in Nigeria, per se, we speak broken English, which customers easily understand. Here, we are borrowing, it's like we are borrowing English from you. Sometimes if I speak, Ghanaians will say that they don't hear me very well. I ask them whether I'm having water in my mouth that they cannot hear from me. Even the way they pronounce we pronounce mouth. You people pronounce mouth. I don't know. The difference is a bit clear, so I don't know. But as for business, it doesn't determine the level of our success.
All right, so the thing is, if you can speak well,
Yes,
it's an advantage.
it is.
Okay, so it's not going to determine your success, but it's an advantage.
It is.
You have an advantage over somebody who can't speak well or can't express themselves well.
Exactly. Of course, communication is all about people understanding you.
Yeah.
And if, for instance, you went for an interview and the panel could understand you better than the other, of course, the job will be for you than the other person. But listening to the the gentleman from Nigeria, he doesn't understand why common mouth, you say mouth. Why Ghanaians? Common bucket, you say bucket. Come on.
And then he said,
But common
For
but you say but. Why?
Yeah, we say that. Barima Cooper G says, I'm struggling to identify any nexus whatsoever between identification of one's accent and their level of success in life, but I see none. Success in life is in the bosom of the Lord. You can have all the accent, but the least successful person on earth. It's true, you can have all the accent, but the least successful person on earth, but it's an advantage, as I indicated earlier. It's not so much about the accent, it's about how well you can express yourself.
Yes.
Right? Bawa Musa says, maybe in Ghana here it doesn't, but I believe, however, that it might be a consideration in the white man's land. They give importance to accuracy and precision. And Baya Jeremiah says, not at all. One's success in life is determined by how one sees him or herself in utilizing God's given talents.
Nasser Hassan Yaimi says, it has become the order of the day. If not, all this is unnecessary because one's accent does not determine one's level of success in life. Richmond Atokwame policy says, no, I don't really think so. Wabon. It doesn't matter how you speak. And I agree with you. I would want to understand you expressing, you expressing yourself better for me to understand than to have a particular accent. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. And finally, popular hip-hop musician Kunte Hene has stopped worshipping at the church he's been attending for 10 years after a visitor to the church was driven out for inappropriate dressing. Although Kunte Hene protested against the action that day, the church leaders refused to allow the visitor to worship with that congregation. Question: should churches impose a dress code on their members?
It is very important. Not only in the name of going to church, but as a Christian, you need to have a dressing code. And we Africans, we are cultured. Those things, I was telling somebody some time ago that if I were to be a president, I'm going to have a task force for dressing code. It's not helping our culture as an Africans.
It's the way and the manner we carry ourselves, the way we dressed during church service. I don't think if you dress inappropriate, you are just having a different intention of serving your God. So I think a decent dressing really play a very, very important role.
No, I don't think so, because if you have a dressing code, maybe you have a choir in the church, youths in the church, they can make that dressing code, but for the whole church congregation, I don't think so.
I think so, because it's even in the Bible that the ladies should dress according to our culture. You understand? Yeah, that's what I can say. The men, it's normal. Our dress, we always dress normal.
Well, for the sake of the kingdom of God, it is written in the 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 8 to 15, that there should be a modest dressing as far as the church and the kingdom is concerned.
Israel, that question goes to you. Do you think that churches should impose on their church worshippers what kind of dress they should wear to?
Well, not quite an imposition, but you can't just also wear anything at all to church. I mean, if somebody decides to wear to church a really, really miniskirt, so that's where, she draws attention to herself away from everybody else, it's a distraction.
But I thought
if somebody comes in and shows her entire cleavage.
But I thought this
like the image we saw of is it Nicki Minaj?
Yeah.
But
she wasn't in
with
church.
her boobs popping out.
But I thought it was in your heart, not in your dress.
Yes, but I'm saying that some of the outfits cannot be accepted in church.
Definitely not. It's not appropriate.
But if you decide to wear something tight, you're showing your sides and all that.
But it must be acceptable.
Yeah.
If you go out of place, then it's not. It's a no.
Nasser says, no, I don't think so. But as a reasonable human being, excuse my words, one should know that this is the house of God. So you can't just wear anything there or behave anyhow there. Besides, no Bible or Quran ever said that we should drive people out just because they are inappropriately dressed. We should allow them worship with us, and after the service, we sit them down and advise them. Or what do you suggest, Mr. Lai? I think I said just about the same thing. But you talked about the Quran not prescribing what people wear. The Quran prescribes. Yes.
It doesn't actually state that you should wear this or that, but it says you must cover every part of your body. Yeah. And it's straightforward.
So you can't just wear anything into the mosque?
Not at all.
What's actually going to happen to you if you walk into the mosque half naked?
It's a no. It's no.
That'd be haram.
It can't happen.
Right. Bayer Jeremiah says it's a big no, not at all. The elders thought that the man will not be able to give enough money as offertory. Oh, really? The musician is 100% right. Churches nowadays have diverted the roles from instilling discipline and moral values in the society. Churches' usefulness to the society are now things of the past. But accepted miniskirts, ladies. Shame on the leaders of that particular church.
Berma Kwabaji says, I think so, because you go to the house of the Lord with just any apparel. And Father Nathan says, yes, a freedom that is not controlled is slavery. Churches shouldn't entertain such dressing. All right, so. Okay,
so this is one of the moments we get on to Twitter to find out the trends. So certainly I'm sure Manchester United is trending somewhere there. So Manchester, okay, so we have Ajax and then Niger. Niger, I'm sure it's because the Black Stars beat them. Definitely. Manchester United because they are playing against Ajax.
Yeah.
And they've been... All right, so the comments we have, Colin, not Collins, he tweets, Man United join Ajax, Bayern, Chelsea and Juventus in a lead group of clubs to have won all of UEFA's major trophies. And Paddy Power says, the lad in your office who today...
The lady, I guess.
Yeah, lad, yeah. The lad in your office who today told you how dangerous Ajax are in attack is now readying his Ajax were never good.
I'm sure he's talking about...
Okay, to be honest, it's a little quiet. Friends of Ajax, how about it? And all for United, what a comfortable win. Ajax never once looked to trouble us. Brilliant tactics from Jose and to get back into the Champions League.
Well, those are very interesting comments on Twitter.